This video will demonstrate the process and tools for changing valves and seats in GD Energy Products 7500 PSI HD module. To begin the disassembly process, we will use the lock removal tool to remove the lock from the ring. Once the lock is removed from the ring, we can now prepare to remove the valve cover. GD Energy Products offers two different tool options for valve cover removal. Here we are utilizing the heavy-duty valve cover removal tool. You're going to install the removal tool into the valve cover, also known as the plug. Make sure to bottom it out. Using your impact with a 1 3/4 inch socket, you're going to pull the valve cover out. Once the plug is removed, you want to inspect the bore seal gaskets on the plug and make sure there are no tears, fraying, or cuts. If present, you need to replace it. GD Energy Products recommends changing the bore seal each time the module is open. One thing we'd like to point out on the GD OEM suction valve cover, the extra heavy nipple is welded to the body for enhanced durability. To remove the valve cover retainer or Falcon valve guide, simply push down and turn either left or right. The Falcon retainer moves out and is released. Once removed, you're going to inspect the Falcon retainer, inspecting the blades for damage and making sure the bushing is secured, not egged or warped. If the bushing can be removed by hand, you need to replace the bushing. Next, reach in and pull out the spring. Inspect the spring for breakage or flat spots. Squeeze it, feeling for firm compression. If there's little or weak resistance, it should be replaced. Now you're going to reach in and pull out the valve. Once the valve is out, inspect your valve. Check the urethane and valve body for cracking, gouges, and cuts. If found, replace the valve. Also, check the bottom of the valve, looking for washes and damage to the legs. This is the discharge side removal, utilizing the lock installation removal tool. You're going to remove the discharge lock. Here we are demonstrating using a slide hammer to pull the discharge valve cover. Carefully remove the discharge plug and set it down. Notice the valve guide bushing fell out. We need to replace that. Inspect the discharge valve cover for serviceability by inspecting the bore seal gasket and the body of the discharge plug. Look for any kind of washes or burrs that need repair and then reinstall the valve guide bushing. Now we will remove the discharge spring and valve. Once the spring is removed, you inspect the spring and squeeze it for serviceability. After removing the discharge valve, inspect the urethane, looking for cuts, gouging, and washes. Then inspect the valve body and legs for serviceability, looking for cracks, breaks, or washes. If any damage is found, always replace the valve. Place the API 7 split jaw seat puller tool inside the discharge seat. Find the 2-inch stem and screw it into the top of the puller head. Once you've got the stem installed into the seat puller head, install the H-bar. Next, place the pancake jack and the hydraulic pump over the stem, setting it over the H-bar. Now, with the pancake jack installed, you're going to install the 2-inch nut to secure the pancake jack. Take a chain and secure the pancake jack to the module. Once the pancake jack is secured to the module, you'll apply pressure to the hydraulic pump in order to pop the seat. Once the seats are popped, go ahead and remove the chain. Once the chains are removed, loosen the 2-inch nut and remove the pancake jack. Remove the H-bar and remove the seat. Now we will reinstall the seats with the suction side first. Before installing the seat, clean off all coatings or any lubricants. Seats must be installed dry. Make sure the seat deck has been cleaned and inspected for washes, nicks, or burrs. Repair if needed. Set your seat into the seat deck and firmly push down to start the seating process. Take an old valve and set it inside onto the seat. Use a soft metal bar inserted through the discharge side onto the top of the valve, then give it a couple of good strikes to set the seat. Next, remove the old valve by reaching in and taking it out. Then reach inside and attempt to pull the seat out. If you cannot pull the seat out, the seat is set. Next, set the discharge seat. Repeat the steps previously provided. If you can pull the seat, you need to repeat the process of the valve and the bar. If the seat is set, you can go about reinstalling the other components. Place your valve onto the suction seat. Replace your spring. Reinstall the Falcon retainer. Place it over the spring, apply slight pressure downward, turning either left or right until it is set into the groove in the module. That completes the installation of the suction side. You're going to repeat the entire process on the discharge side, beginning with the seat installation. Take your discharge valve and place it onto the discharge seat. Take your spring and place it onto the valve. Using a slide hammer, pick up and place your discharge plug on top, spreading a light coat of grease around the bore seal area before inserting it into the discharge side of the module. When utilizing the slide hammer, you want to strike on the plug until you hear a distinctive thud and then stop. Remove your slide hammer. Install the discharge lock cover. After inspecting the threads of the threaded ring, apply a light coat of grease on the inside. You're going to pick up the discharge lock and secure it into the threaded ring. Now place the lock installation tool onto the threaded lock, placing the safety pin into the hole at the end of the pin to keep it from falling out. Strike the wing of the tool until the lock is tightly in place. And that completes the installation of the discharge lock. Now that we've covered the basics for valve and seat removal and installation in your HD module, if you need any additional support, feel free to reach out to us. We have field service technicians available in all major shale plays. If you need additional help and support, we offer Pump University, where we will come to your location and teach your employees how to be experts in pump maintenance.